These are my 3+4 stages of how to work out your love-hate relationship. Those kind of relationships where when it's good, and when it's bad, it's really bad. And maybe lately it's been kind of bad more often than it's been good. Hey guys, so hi, first of all, haven't made a video in friggin' way too friggin' long. Today, I wanted to make this video about love because let me just say first off that I don't really think anybody needs to be in a love relationship. You are a boss-ass bitch on your own, whether you are male, female, or other. You are everything all on you. You don't need anybody. And if you don't want to be in a relationship, you don't need to be in a relationship. But I also am a hopeless romantic and I believe in love, but I don't believe in compromising for love. I believe in genuine love and finding like authentic truth in your love. So we're gonna talk about if you're kind of in the situation where you're in love with someone, you know that they're in love with you, you know that you guys both love each other, but for whatever reason, you guys just can't seem to see eye to eye. You guys are arguing all the time. Maybe you're on again and off again. For whatever reason, like when you guys are together, you guys just can't get it together. You love each other, but you can't get it together. Disclaimer, this is definitely not for situations where someone has maybe cheated or someone is being abusive. For some people, you can get past cheating, but definitely not abuse. So if you're being abused, leave the situation 100%. I'm gonna leave in my description box phone numbers to domestic violence hotlines so you guys can have somewhere to actually reach out to. If that's your situation, see my description box below. It is so hot. I feel I'm already freaking sweating. It's so hot in LA and I have to turn off the fans in order to make this video for you guys because I love you so much and I don't want it to sound like in the background. My highlight is shining to the gods, and not because I'm wearing a lot of it, but because I'm freaking sweating. Before we get into the video, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified when I put out more videos. Go ahead and give this video a like because you know it's gonna be good, so just do that. First step in dealing with a situation like this, I definitely think this is one that most people would not recommend, but I think that for both partners, the first step is actually to run away. It may seem a little counterintuitive if you love that person to run away from them. If you're in this situation, you guys both love each other, but you guys can't like seem to figure it out, then there's probably a lot going on that like has been going on, and it's hard for you to like understand how you feel about it. Maybe it's hard for you to understand how they feel about it. There's probably just a whole lot of different things that are just going back and forth, and I really think that the first thing that you need to do is take some time separate from each other. You may find out that actually you've been projecting your own feelings onto the other person and you never really felt they were never really the problem in the first place. You just needed some time of your own to work on things in your own life. You may find out that they've been hurting you, but maybe you realize that you haven't really communicated what actually is hurting you in the relationship and you've just been getting mad over other stuff that's not really the issue. You may realize that things seemed bad, but they really weren't as bad as they seemed, and maybe you were going through something yourself, or maybe you were just kind of being a brat and you realized that you should be more grateful and that you still want to just go back to how things were. You may also realize that things are a lot worse than you thought, and maybe a lot of things need to change that you didn't really have words to say before, and you need to express that now. You may realize that this whole time you've been blaming them for problems that really were you causing, and you need to work on yourself in order to fix them. No matter the case, you're gonna realize what the issue was in your time away from them, and as long as you stay true to the fact that in your heart you love them, if you take your time, the process will lead to truth. Like, just take your time to think through everything that's happened in your relationship. Think through what it makes you feel. Think through what you want out of life, and eventually you will come to a place where you understand what needs to change and what is the issue. I caution you, first of all, do not give in to being lonely in this period. If you really genuinely feel the need to run from your relationship and to take some time for yourself and to think about things, then do not get caught up in the feeling of being lonely without your person and just run back to them just because you miss them. Make sure that you genuinely think about your truth. Think about what needs to change, because if you run back to them now just because you're lonely, nothing's gonna change and you'll be right back by yourself in a week. Okay, the second thing I caution you guys on is also don't use this time as a punishment. If you leave the relationship and you've taken your time to think, don't get prideful and start feeling like, oh, because you left, you have to make it serious. If you realize that it wasn't that serious and that you shouldn't have left in the first place, that you really didn't have much to change, go back. Don't be prideful. Like, be truthful. Be honest about your truth. And if you love that person, let go of your ego and just love them. If you are the other partner and your partner decides they need to take a break and just think about some things, I caution you to be patient. Understand that life is difficult, that feelings are complicated, and it's hard to always know what you want out of life. Don't blame the other person for needing time to think about things. Don't be mad at them, and don't hold it against them when they come back and want to talk to you, or just hold a grudge against them for it. Just recognize that love is hard, and that if you really love this person, you have an entire lifetime ahead of yourself with them. So be patient and let them come to the genuine place where they can love you genuinely back. Okay, step 2, once you have successfully run from the relationship, successfully figured out what the issues there are, and maybe that step will have to happen for both of you guys. You might both have to run from the relationship and figure out what you both want and then come back together. Whenever that step is done, whenever you both feel like you know yourselves, you know what's going on, you know what you want, and you still come to the conclusion that you love each other and you want to work on it, this is step 2. You share and discuss. Untangle your relationship. This is the step that so many people like to just walk over. I don't know why. Humans can't read each other's minds, and in order to have a healthy relationship, you have to communicate. So if you guys have both taken that much time by yourselves to figure out things, then there is a whole lot, like however much time it was times 5 of stuff that you guys need to talk about. Figure out an understanding and come to the same understanding and mutual understanding between each other. You have to be able to trust each other to be ugly in front of each other. You have to be able to trust each other to say the things that you really feel deep down in your heart. And you have to be able to trust that the other person is going to say those things to you, and let go of your ego and allow them to say those things to you. You have to trust that that person loves you and that they want the best for you. And if they're saying things that maybe hurt you in the moment, they're only saying them based on their own perspective. So if you guys can continue to talk about it, continue to lay stuff out there, and continue to try to understand each other, you can come to a mutual understanding and agreement. Always be kind and respectful in this stage, because it is hard, because you guys are laying out a lot of ugly truths and it's very uncomfortable. Not often in these modern times, or I think ever in life, do we really allow other people to see us this openly. But in a love relationship, that's exactly the point. So be respectful and be kind, but stay honest and continue to talk. Whatever you do, don't stop talking. If you feel like you need to run away again because you feel like there's more coming up that you need to think through more, then maybe. But if you really feel like it's just getting too hard and it's just hard to talk about, don't run away. Stay. Keep talking, keep discussing. I often feel like, more than anything, I would rather be understood than have anyone fix me. In a lot of ways, especially if I'm going through something like of my own, I don't want to be fixed. I just want someone to understand me. I just want someone to listen. In that listening, I want them to, come to a mutual, understanding of what I'm going through. I don't want them to just listen just to listen. I want them to listen because they're getting the patterns of me and getting what I'm going through. So do that for your partner. Understand them. Don't try to fix them yet. Don't try to fix anything yet, because you don't know how to fix anything yet. You don't know what the person really wants to be fixed or what is possible to be fixed. So just continue to listen, continue to understand, and be open. If you feel like you've done something wrong in a relationship, say so. Make sure that you are letting out your truth as well. Say exactly how you feel that you've done things right and that you've done things wrong, and explain where your mindset was when they happened. Have your partner explain how it made them feel, and then both of you can come to a conclusion about what could have been done better and what can be done better in the future. If you really don't understand how your partner feels about something in the relationship, then say so. If the person is telling you that you did something wrong and you really don't feel like it was something wrong, tell them that you don't feel like that. Tell them why. Tell them where your mindset was coming from. Continue to talk. Just continue to talk. Stay open. I cannot stress that enough. Stay open and stay accountable. Continue to try to come to an understanding about how each other feels. Continue to respect each other, to care about each other's feelings. If you feel like you didn't do anything wrong just because it didn't hurt you, that's not really a real reason not to feel like you did anything wrong. Like, you have to recognize that your actions have power over people. Just make sure that you're not just accepting that what someone else thinks that you did wrong, and also make sure that you're not blatantly not accepting what someone else feels that you did wrong. Neither of those things are helpful. It's kind of like if you tell a child not to eat candy at nighttime. If you simply tell them, like, be mad at them for eating candy at nighttime, and you don't tell them why, you don't tell them it's for their health, you don't tell them it's for their teeth, you don't tell them it's so that they can go to sleep on time, you don't tell them anything about it, then the kid has no choice but to just hear that they've done something wrong, and then their reaction will either be to feel like either one, candy is evil and they can never eat candy, or two, you're evil and they're just gonna do it behind your back. Be accountable for your actions. Recognize that the actions that you take, the words that you use, all of that has an effect over people, and especially over the person that you love. So if they are telling you something that hurt them and you don't understand it, start from the perspective that you do have some type of influence over them. So even if it's like the wildest thing, you can understand that your actions were what hurt them. From that perspective, move forward. Okay, so the last and final step, after you guys have talked out everything, after you guys have figured out everything and come to mutual understanding and made plans, real logistic and tangible plans for the future of how you guys are going to do better and how you guys are going to work on this, accept it. Accept the love and trust that it's going to happen. Come back to the person and trust that things are actually going to be different. Trust that things were actually talked out. Don't keep beating a dead horse if you guys come back into the relationship. Have trust and build that trust between each other. And that honestly takes faith. Courage isn't about not being afraid of something. It's about being afraid of something and doing it anyways. That's kind of what this is like. You have to have a lot of courage in this. It's really hard for us as humans to really believe that other people change and that other people will work on things and do things better. And in a lot of situations, to be honest, they don't change. So you have to recognize that. But have a little bravery, have a little courage, jump into the situation and accept that maybe they will be able to do things differently. Continue to live in your truth. Continue to take care of you. So if there was any parts of it, because usually there are, usually it's a mixture of both needing to work on yourself and needing to work on the relationship. So the parts that you've worked on yourself, don't compromise for the person. Continue to work on yourself, but believe that the parts of the relationship will be worked on by both of you guys, and hold each other accountable to that. And then my fourth step, which is kind of like the ongoing step, it's rinse and repeat steps 2 and 3. Continue to keep the conversation open. Continue to congratulate each other and appreciate each other for any improvement that you've seen on the things that you guys did talk about. But also keep an open conversation about things that you do feel like need more work. And stay open and receptive to hearing that if you're being told you need to work more on something. Nobody's perfect, so it's gonna take time to work on being right for each other and all of that kind of stuff, but people can do this. So if you stay open, if you stay understanding, if you stay healthy, then you can make it happen. One caution though, never... Somebody has like a karaoke machine outside or something. It's like there's a party going on outside. What is this? I'm gonna just say this last thing because I think someone's having like a real party. I hope you guys can hear me and I hope you guys can't hear them. But my final thing is never give someone responsibility to your fantasies. If you are like hurt by something but you don't have any tangible way for it to be fixed, you can't see in your own mind how someone can fix it, then it's okay to express those emotions, but don't make your partner responsible for fixing something that you don't even know how to fix. Work on communicating together, work on coming to that together, but don't hold them to a fantasy. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys could hear me over my neighbors having a party. I don't know. I really like talking about love. This is something that I felt really passionately about. So if you guys, want me to talk about some other subjects on love, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I wouldn't mind doing that. Check out the description box for any of my social media. It'll also be on my face, so you can follow me on my social media. Make sure that you have subscribed to my channel and that you've turned on the post notifications, because we will be coming out with many more videos and they'll be really interesting and you don't want to miss them. So I love you guys so much. I love talking to you guys. I love working on myself and sharing it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, that's the end. Dang, I don't want to go yet. I like talking to you guys. Okay. I don't have anything else to say. Okay, bye. Damn, I'm so hot. It's freaking ridiculous. My neighbor's so loud. I don't even know what he's saying. He's just like... Y'all hear that? This gives me a chance to cool off. Oh, child, it's hot.